Let's go. Let's get into this. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Derek O'Shea Show. Thank you guys for taking time out of your day to hang out with me. It always means so much to me that you actually do this, and we're living our dream. We're doing the best thing that we can. It's Tuesday. We're making it through the week. Maxine Waters is in the news for, well, typical politician stuff. Censorship is more celebrated than it's ever been in its entire lifespan. We talk about black women in the Supreme Court. We're talking all kinds of stuff in what's going on in Canada. But let's get into it on the Derek O'Shea Show. Welcome to the Derek O'Shea Show, where we discuss culture, news, politics, and more. Sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy the show. Be sure to tell your friends and family about the revolution. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Derek O'Shea Show. Thank you guys for taking time out of your day to hang out with me. It always means so much to me that you do this. And my camera is doing a doozy. This is what happens in your life. Tiger Man, what's up? What's good? How you doing? How you feeling? How you feeling? How you doing? But let's get into the news immediately. Oh, if you want to share this on all social media platforms, I'd greatly appreciate it. It would mean a lot to me, and I appreciate every single one of you that do that. Also, if you want to support me, you go to buymeacoffee.com/Derek O'Shea Show. The link is in the description below, and I would greatly appreciate that as well. But let's get into the uns the news. Ja gerne, ja, news. Maxine Waters continues to pay daughter. I'm going to start this over because I don't think I gave it enough energy. Maxine Waters continues to pay daughter campaign cash, adding up to $1.2 million so far. God, I wish my mom was Maxine Waters. That would be nice. A little bit of that systematic, whatever it is, campaign. Maxine Waters' campaign did not immediately respond to a Fox News digital request for comment. I love when they add that in, like they're actually going to respond. But as always, politicians doing what politicians do best, getting their family and friends rich while you stay poor, and then they tell you about how tough your life is and how America is the worst country on earth due to systemic racism, blah, blah, blah. Since 2003, Karen Waters has received over $1 million in payments. $1 million in payments from her mother to her and her company, Progressive Connections. Hi. Welcome to Progressive Connections, where our money comes from my mom. And we're a nonprofit. We're doing big things. Federal Election Commission's FEC data reviewed Fox News Digital shows the payments range from hundreds to tens of thousands of dollars for a variety of costs, including slate mailer management fees, campaign managing services, and paying a band for the holiday event. Nothing says funneling money like small, insignificant donations that you wouldn't track. Hey, here's $100 here. Here's $1,000 here. And we'll throw in 69 cents from here and there. But we're doing our best we can. We're not funneling money. We're not breaking any rules. So what's the problem? The payments add up with the data showing the Congresswoman has paid her daughter at Progressive Connections over $1.2 million since 2003. Again, this woman that told everyone, get in the face of those Republicans. Get in their face. Waters' campaign did not immediately respond to Fox News' digital request for comment. The recruiting financial windfall funneling from Waters' campaign to her daughter's coffers is staple feature at the Congresswoman's career in office. Karen Waters organized slate mailing operations to bolster her mother's re-election. Slate mailing is an uncommon practice in federal elections. What? Of course it is. Where a consulting firm is hired, nothing says I'm funneling money like being part of a consulting firm. Wink. I'm consulting. We're offering professional services. Oh, really? What's your what makes you think that you're a good consultant? What? Oh, my mom's Maxine Waters. So I know a thing or two about how to stay in office and reap the benefits of having a parent that's a politician. Do you know anything about that? No. Only Hunter. Doing great things. What's he up to? I haven't seen a Hunter art piece in a hot minute. I don't know about you. Slate mailing. Representative Waters was reportedly the only federal politician to use a slate mailer operation during the 2020 election. Silly Maxine Waters. Do a Pelosi. Just get your husband to engage in the stock market, and we'll give a little wink and nod of things that are going on in the world. Other members of the Waters clan have also made off with a donor cash. Not just the daughter, it's the entire family. You can all get in and get money. What are we doing here? Let's make some money together. Over the course of the congressman's decade-long career, in 2004, the Los Angeles Times revealed that the Waters campaign had shelled out over $1 million to other family members over previous years. Love a good top comment. This is the top comment. If politicians had ethics, they would require the congressmen and senators live in a district they serve. Oh, dear God. Could you imagine? I would love that. That means they would not have, when not in D.C., they would actually sleep there in an inexpensive property in their district purely for show and to live in a mansion for a different district. And that's all it is. Everything's about this is show. As they funnel money to their families. And once again, it just shows at this point, why start a business? Because maybe that business will be shut down. Why not just become a politician and hook your family up with millions of dollars? Don't you love how politicians like Joe Biden, Pelosi, Elizabeth Warren, the list goes on. I could go on all day, baby, about how they use their office to make their family and themselves rich. The Obamas, can we get started on those people? Oh, I got to charge $500,000 for a speaking fee. My voice is magical. Tiger Man says, crony capitalism. God, yes. I get so tired of people in my generation talking about how capitalism is so bad. No, it's not. If it's performed rightly as it should, as we shouldn't be bailing out companies that go under because they're too big to fail, or people like BlackRock who are allowed to just buy up all the housing property, whatever they want. And if, the housing market goes up, oh shit, we can't have BlackRock going down. Let's bail them out. That's not capitalism. And especially, we can't call these people servants. They're not public servants if they're making off with millions of dollars, which they didn't have when they first entered office. That's not what a servant looks like. A servant is someone who humbles himself before another person, takes on a job, maybe they don't get paid enough, but works enough because they do it out of the goodness of their heart. They do it because they feel called to it. To call these people public servants is a complete and utter joke. This is a good ploy if you're about making that money and have no heart or dignity. Let me know your thoughts on the whole Maxine Waters thing, because I think, as Maxine Waters would probably say, the systemic issue of how our politicians are allowed to do literally whatever they want, and at the same time criticize other people for doing exactly the same. Especially businesses. It's always businesses. These businesses, we go after these businesses. Like, not that these meat packers are making extra money during the COVID. They're just trying to get off with whatever they want, and they're against you. These companies are against you. The politicians are for you, as their family makes millions of dollars and gets away with literal murder. Whatever they want, whenever they want. They're kings and queens. We live in a democracy, quote unquote. But seriously, let me know your thoughts on this. I'm curious your reactions. Next story. Let's keep the energy, keep the thing going. I thought we should celebrate this. Here's a celebration, everyone. National debt in the United States has passed $30 trillion. You're crazy as hell. Yes, I know I am. But also, it's a huge fail. United States debt passed $30 trillion, which is a good thing. And we should spend more money. We should print more money. We don't have a spending issue. We actually need to spend more money. We should offer free college tuition to everyone. We should actually also pay off their debts, cancel their debts, as they say. Well, just cancel it. That's what you do with money, right? You just enter some money. You just zero. And the money goes away and all your problems go away. No one's looking for that. No one needs to be paid. You just cancel the debt. And then we could also give universal health care to everyone, 300 million people. It's not a small country, like Sweden. It's not a very small country and organized and all this stuff, but it's 300 million people. And then we have illegal immigrants crossing the border constantly. And we don't even know where they are and what their names are or what they're coming in with, but we should pay for them. And is there anything else we could pay for? Oh, we should start a war over here. We should just do that. And then what? We pull all our troops out of Afghanistan. Let's throw them $400 million because, we screwed up their country and they deserve it. We should give them $400 million. And is there any other humanitarian aid that we could just dish out to everyone? Because we're rich. We're only in $30 trillion of national debt. It's not like our dollar's worth absolutely nothing. And it's not... Let me know your thoughts on the national debt, because there will be a reckoning soon. We can't just keep living like this. Like having a credit card and you're just like, you can't just keep spending that money. Eventually going to go, sorry, it's not working anymore. We consider your debt too much money. Ergo, even if you paid us with your money, it's worth absolutely nothing. This generation, the boomer generation too. It's not just my generation doesn't know anything about money. It's the older generations too, as we got off the gold standard. Let's not pretend like it's all a millennial thing. They just don't know how to do money. It's generations upon generations of people overspending consistently, and especially our politicians pushing it down the ranks. But don't you just love them? They're looking out for our best. I trust the government with my body, my choice. All right. God. I am on a hot one today. Sorry, I'm a little crazy today. Somebody cut me off right before I came in and got online to go to start this and do a live stream. I don't know what it is about people who just cut people off. But at least if you're going to cut someone off, wave. Say hello. Say, oops, I did it again. I played with your heart. And I lost it again. Oh, baby, baby. Something to think about. All right, next story. Oh, gosh. Okay. This crap needs to end. I don't understand. We have an entire population of people in America who are clapping, who are encouraging, and who think censorship by anybody, especially in government, or if you can say experts, is a good thing. I don't know who needs to hear this, but once you start censoring things, it never ends well. If you look at the history books, I know we're not allowed to talk about history books because don't compare this to the Nazis. Just don't do it. If it looks like it and it smells like it, it doesn't actually mean it's true. But let's listen to our favorite, Brian freaking Stelter, on his opinions of just the silliness of, and it's like, when are we going to grow up? What do we need to do in order for people to feel like, you know what? I'm an adult. I can actually, make these decisions for myself. I don't need a sensory thing or a censor thing before I listen to something because I'm an adult and I can make the decision for myself. And so if you think that it's because people they're just not smart enough to deal with it, that's another thing. It's all about power and it's about controlling speech. To say otherwise, it's just not being intellectually honest. Let's be honest about that. If we could be honest about something and be honest about it, as I'm being honest, let's be honest. Let's listen to this clip.
And this is the part of going live, people. This is the part of going live because you never know. Here we go.
The narrative is. I want to show all kinds of opinions.
Which sounds great, but not all opinions are created equal. You think about major newsrooms like CNN that have health departments and desks and operations that work hard on verifying information on COVID-19. And then you have talk show stars like Joe Rogan who just wing it, who make it up as they go along. And because figures like Rogan are trusted by people that don't trust real newsrooms, we have a problem that's much bigger than Spotify, much bigger than any single platform, Kate. But that's what is the heart of this right now.
Is there anything better than Brian Stelter saying he is a real newsroom? I want to hear this last part one more time. It just makes me giggle.
And then you have talk show stars like Joe Rogan who just wing it.
A talk show star. The thing I get more annoyed about Joe Rogan than anything in the whole world is people that comment on Joe Rogan's show like they actually listen to it. Because those of us, like myself, who actually listen to the show don't actually go around thinking Joe Rogan's an expert. He invites people on his show to have a conversation because that's how life used to be. We used to just talk to each other. And sometimes, every once in a while, we would say really crazy things. And sometimes those crazy things were actually completely spot on. But that's how life worked. And that's why people enjoy that podcast. Because it feels real. It doesn't feel like anyone's reading from a script or feels like they're not allowed to say a curse word or a bad word, or they can just be themselves. And in fact, the best part of the show is that it's a couple hours long. And due to that, after the first 30 minutes, people start to shell off whatever insecurities they have, whatever person they think they are, or whatever message they wanted to have walking into the show, and they just become themselves. And you can feel it while you listen to it. And that's why people listen to podcasts. That's why I hope you listen to my podcast, because this is me. I'm not reading from a script. I don't have producers. It's me on my computer doing goofy things with the silly green screen in the background. There's nothing special about it. It's just you and me having a conversation. And I hope through listening to this conversation with myself, is that you don't feel as alone as you did a minute ago. Don't feel as alone as you did an hour ago. That I hope through my conversations, you get the essence that I am honest. I am truthful. I have integrity. I'm speaking from the heart and the mind. Like, I'm speaking from the hip and a lot of things, but like that I'm not just somebody that's looking for a job. I started doing this because I felt inclined to provide something different. There's so many podcasts out there that were like over the extreme and centered around outrage and just losing your minds and just saying outrageous things in order to gain attention and make people riled up. That's not me. And that's the same with Joe Rogan. His thing is not for outrage clips, but that's what people assume it is, because they've created this narrative in their head of what the podcast actually sounds like. But God, I would never listen to that white supremacist all the way through it, but I will definitely talk about it on my show with Brian Stelter. Misinformation. I want to keep listening to this one more time, this part.
Not COVID-19. And then you have talk show stars like Joe Rogan who just wing it, who make it up
It's not a talk show.
As they go along.
He's winging it because he's not the expert in the room. He is somebody who likes to ask questions. I remember a time when the people that asked questions rather than had all the right answers were some of the smartest people in the room.
And because figures like Rogan are trusted by people that don't trust real newsrooms.
This comment right here. This comment that Brian Stelter just said right here.
Don't trust real newsrooms. Rogan are trusted by people that don't trust real newsrooms.
People are trusting Joe Rogan that don't trust real newsrooms. Nobody goes to Joe Rogan for their news. But sometimes it happens through actual conversation. And sometimes when he invites people that are actual experts rather than these two people, it's fun to listen. And the more people that would just come on this podcast, the better it would be. But as always, there are obligations. There are people that feel like I'm not going to go on that white supremacist podcast and not have that conversation. But who has encouraged people not going to a podcast, people not having a voice, people getting shadow banned and censored on social media? I can't think of, maybe you guys. But I digress.
We have attention, a problem that's much bigger than Spotify, much bigger than any single platform, Kate.
Yeah, so big, such a huge problem. I'm going to be completely outraged about it because I strive on outrage.
But that's what is the heart of this right now.
Just so silly. But let's continue down the rope because here's another clip that really grinds my gears. Because, Brian Stelter isn't saying enough when he says
that don't trust real newsrooms.
Don't trust real newsrooms. I feel like I could put that clip in my brain.
Rogan are trusted by people that don't trust real newsrooms.
Don't trust
real newsrooms.
that has to be a clip because that's just so silly. But anyways, let's keep going down the pipe right here. Okay, Jen Psaki today is asked about Spotify, per usual, and here's Jen's comment about it.
Last week, the Surgeon General also was asked on MSNBC about Joe Rogan's vaccine comments on Spotify, and he said that tech companies have an important role to play in stopping misinformation because they are the predominant places where misinformation spreads. Spotify is putting out advisory warnings on episodes that have to do with COVID-19. Does the White House and the administration think this is a satisfactory step, or do you think that companies like Spotify should go further than just putting a label on there to say, hey, go do your own, check this out. There's more research you can look at, scientific research regarding COVID.
Sure. Well,
first of all, such a silly question. As always, the whole Joe Rogan thing about handling misinformation. Their mission until they're done is to get rid of all podcasts, like myself, all podcasts that have a voice, that feel like they have a voice in the fight, that feel like they can provide other information that the news agencies can't do anymore because they're so confined by their narrative and so confined by what they're allowed to say because they have writers. They're not just like you and me where we listen to something and we can react to something. We can talk to somebody. I didn't pre-write this part of the show at all. So this is me being completely honest, and they hate that. They don't like that because people are more interested in these kind of podcasts because they're getting to meet somebody who's real. They're feeling like this information they're hearing is real. And so when they make a connection, it feels more real than some fake person who has there's a minute and a half conversation with somebody and then immediately cuts them off because I got to go to a commercial break. No one wants to listen to information like that anymore. Nobody wants to have the commercial break experience. Nobody wants to have the conversation cut off because it doesn't feel real. People don't want short clips anymore for information. They want long form podcasts of information they're very serious about learning. And I think this whole Joe Rogan Spotify thing is not going to end until they feel like they can get rid of podcasts as a whole. I just don't see it ending well because once you open up the Pandora's box of censorship, it doesn't end. It just doesn't. And they're going to continue talking about this. You thought Joe Rogan coming out and having his say or whatever was going to change everything. It's not. It's going to make it worse. In fact, him just saying that there's things that he could do better, he's making it worse. And I think you'll find that out. I think people were all excited about this video and saying like, I'm just so glad. He seems very logical and all this stuff. And I listened to the video and I loved it too because it was very logical. Any reasonable thinking person would see that and be like, yeah, duh, this is the same Joe Rogan that everyone knows. But people that don't listen and have this idea who his podcast and what his podcast is about, like Sanjay Gupta, I saw him. He was like a big bear standing across from me in that silly little news article he wrote. But, Let's keep listening. I'm curious what Jen Psaki's answer is.
Check this out. There's more research you can look at. Scientific research regarding COVID.
Sure. Well, last July, you probably know, but the Surgeon General also took the unprecedented step to issue an advisory on the risk of misinformation in public health, which is a very significant step. And amid that, he talked about the role social media platforms have. So our hope is that all major tech platforms.
It's funny. It's like, why don't you just become more credible? Instead of like feeling like you need to censor other people. How about just make your message so fantastic that people can't help but notice and pay attention to what you have to say. But no, you, instead of having a conversation or just debunking any claim you hear, you got to censor it and shut down the speech because, that's what adults do, not children.
And all major news sources, for that matter, be responsible and be vigilant to ensure the American people have access to accurate information on something as significant as COVID-19. That certainly includes Spotify. So this disclaimer...
Did you say Spotify? Yo, get that Spotify. Freaking Spotify.
Come on, man.
Thank you, Joe. Let's keep listening.
It's a positive step, but we want every platform to continue doing more to call out mis and disinformation while also uplifting accurate information. I mean, look at the facts, right? You are 16 times more likely to be hospitalized if you're...
Don't you love the minute she like goes into a little narrative rant? Just look at the facts. Hold on, let me get my pen and paper up right here. I'm just going to read this information off to you because I got to stick to whatever I'm supposed to say.
Accurate information. I mean, look at the facts, right? You are 16 times more likely to be hospitalized if you're unvaccinated and 68 times more likely to die than someone who is boosted if you're unvaccinated. That's pretty significant, and we think that is something that unquestionably should be the basis of how people are communicating about it. But ultimately, our view is it's a good step, it's a positive step, but there's more that can be done.
Nobody would listen to Joe Rogan's podcast if it was all the same information. People listen to Joe Rogan's podcast because they feel like they're getting a different point of view or getting a different idea, and that's the whole point of conversation. That's the whole point of hosting some fringe scientists and stuff like that, or scientists that aren't as credible in the mainstream mainstream narrative mind. It's just, that's the whole point. That's why people like it. That's why people enjoy it, because they're like, I want to hear a different opinion or a different view. The idea that like there are scientific ideas out there, or especially with new studies, new things, that everyone is on the same consensus and everyone believes exactly the same thing is just not a very honest viewpoint, and not a very like smart viewpoint. You want different opinions. You want to be challenged. You want, anytime you come up with a hypothesis in life, you want people to push your boundaries and for you to learn and grow and not just be stagnant. I mean, come on. We're adults, right? Okay. Let me know your thoughts on the whole censorship thing before we go on to the next news story. We're adults, right? We can just read something or look into something. Like no one thinks some of the crazy things that have been said to cure COVID are real. I mean, no one with a brain. I mean, people have passed me some things on social media accounts where I'm just like, okay, I don't know if that's gonna work, but okay. And I'm an adult, so I can just like look up for myself, because if there is a cure for a certain illness or something that seems too good to be true, I will look up and find out. But I'm not going to be like, this is it, and if they say otherwise, it just means they're taking your information away from us or something. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that, because it's just so silly at this point that we even have to have this conversation about censorship, but I don't think it needs to be taken as something to be seen as silly. I think it should be taken very seriously, because it's the push from the state, Jen Psaki, and Joe Biden, and even Joe Biden said stuff about, censorship and misinformation and stuff like that. That push is really about stopping you and me from having a conversation or from information being passed, because you know what? The state, the government, the institution, the church, the Bible, the whatever, they want to keep it to themselves. They want to keep the truth to themselves, because you and I, little peons, just little people going about our lives, working 9-to-5 jobs, or maybe you're working the late shift. I don't know. Maybe you're an all-nighter. Who knows? You're not allowed to engage in the dialogue because you're not an expert. You haven't been trained by me. You haven't been trained by the experts. Let me know your thoughts. Dude, follow the Yelbeck Road. I just made that little thing. I don't know if I like it or not. It's growing on me. I almost had some lasers in the background. I had all kinds of things going on, and I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Is it cool or is it dumb, Tiger Man? I'm just generally curious if it's dumb or cool. All right. Let's go on to the next news story. Okay, yeah, here we go. This is what I love to see. Here we go. Look at this disgusting video from the Canadian truckers. Ugh, God, they're just... Look at this. They're handing out food to the homeless and giving out food to people. It's disgusting. These people are all white supremacists and they need to be stopped. So I'm gonna take these people down immediately. Look, they're like cooking stuff. It looks like hot food in the cold winter. This needs to end immediately. Oh, look, did they even charge that guy? Look at this guy. He's just bending over and taking free food. It's just... it's hard to watch.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
I'm not joking. I love, don't you love the media's portrayal of these people? I'm just like, they're horrible human beings. They're stealing soup from the soup kitchen. And I'm going to take one thing and make it an entire talking point for the whole show. All right, next. Oh, yeah, here we go. Here we go. This is gross, too. I don't know if I can handle watching this video of the truckers in Canada. Honestly, it's just disgusting. Look, they're playing hockey on the street. These anti-mandate people just playing sports. Where's your mask? Oh my God. These people are a menace to society. Look at them, destruction. This is what a Canadian insurrection looks like. They just play hockey.
You crazy as hell.
It's so stupid. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that. But yeah, this is a Canadian insurrection. Not a joke. Not a joke. You want... Time to go play some hockey, eh? Nice shot. It's knuckle puck time. You thought it was pixelated? What? Oh my God, dude, gross. Nah, dude. I'm not 13. Wait, I'm not 12 anymore. I don't remember what that channel was. It was so sketch. Look at him just playing hockey. Absolutely disgusting and appalling. What a fun time. Playing a little hockey, playing some hacky in the street. All right, this story. Look at this story. Look at this story. Amazon whistleblower imprisoned, tortured in China for 2 years. Asks tech giant, aka Amazon, to apologize. Tang Mingfeng reportedly spent 2 years in prison. Guy's name's Tang Mingfeng? I would have never guessed that. Are you telling me you would have guessed that? This guy looks like a Tang Mingfeng? No way. This guy looks like a Tom Arnold or something. Or Jeff Bezos 1.0. I don't know. Reportedly spent 2 years in prison after exposing the work conditions at Foxconn. Oh, no. You're a bad boy. The work conditions at Foxconn factories producing the company's Alexa-enabled devices. How dare you care about working conditions of our slave labor? Why would you jump into the mix and try to fix it? I like my iPhones for $300. Thank you very much. I don't care who dies making it or what they get paid. Honestly, there are some of the worst humanitarian issues that go on in China. that no one cares about as our businesses continue to use them for labor and continue to use them for services and continue to use their people as a means for production. But, you know, you got to have those iPhones and we got to have that NBA money. Funny how our NBA players always talk about how America is the most racist and bigoted country on earth. Thank you, China, for my extra $100,000. His sister is Fang Fang? Oh my God. Where is Fang Fang? Where is Fang Fang? Find that Fang Fang. I love her. What a smart little girl. I don't know. Okay. All right. Okay. Next story. But seriously, China is such a huge problem, and we're just all pretending. Okay. This clip of Joe Biden is the most telling thing in the world, as you see more and more progressives and Democrats use the Supreme Court as a political arm, basically, to push their political agenda down. Listen to Joe Biden talk about the Supreme Court next to his biddy, Kamala Harris. All right, let's listen.
There's always a renewed national debate every time we nominate any president nominates a justice, because the Constitution is always evolving slightly.
Let's hear that.
It was always evolving slightly in terms of additional rights or curtailing rights, etc.
Additional rights or curtailing rights? I'm sorry. What?
Slightly in terms of additional rights or curtailing rights, etc.
Nothing has been more true out of his mouth. Hey, the Constitution's always evolving, man. But as always, with anything with politicians, they don't give you more rights. They just take more rights away from you. Even the Republicans. Are you guys for freedom? It's hard to tell at this point. I just don't see it. The last one. I think this little ditty, if you will, from ditty from Mitch McConnell is this question is very interesting. Let's listen to this question.
How many black women do you have on staff, and how are they informing your decision?
Yeah.
How many black women do you have on staff, Mitch McConnell? Because that's important. It's not what's the caliber of person you have working for you. It's, are you fitting the race quota? Because if you don't, it means you're racist. That's the only explanation it could possibly be.
How are they informing your decision?
Yeah.
Or with this nomination?
Actually, I haven't checked. We don't have a racial quota in my office, but I've had a number of African American employees, both male and female, over the years in all kinds of different positions, including speechwriter.
And that's how it should be. That is how you should answer that question. Is, I don't know. And I don't care, because I don't actually care what the color of the skin is. And I don't give preferential treatment for people of different colors than myself. In fact, I just open up the jobs to come work with me, and I just look at their resumes. I'm not even going to look at their name. I'll just see what they can offer me and see how they see like what their past has been like. I'm not going to just pick someone out because of what they look like. And that's how you destroy companies. It doesn't help. If you hire a bunch of unqualified people because they look a certain way or to fit a certain quota, that's not going to help your business. It might make you feel good on the inside, or make you feel like it fits your race quota or your progressive quota of the day, that, or whatever the media tells you is right and wrong of the day. It's not going to actually help your business. It's encouraging segregation, and it's encouraging treating people differently based on the color of the skin, and it's not healthy, and it's racist. It's racist. It would be incredibly racist for anyone to choose somebody based on the color of their skin for anything. That's what racism is. I'm going to treat you different because of the way you look. Oh, that's not racist anymore? Oh, because we're living in an altered reality and nothing makes sense anymore? Okay, good. Good. This is a good thing. Oh, we should segregate our high school graduations because that's a good thing. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Washington. You guys are so progressive up there. I love it. Oh, we should just segregate clubs and maybe have different bathrooms, or maybe get different water fountains, or maybe different places on the bus where people can sit. Oh, this is a good thing. This is actually a progressive mindset. Don't let anybody ever tell you anything other different than how racist this rhetoric and just how racist this progressive push to separate and segregate one another instead of seeing each other as equal. The minute you need to fight for that, see each other as equal. I appreciate you guys for joining me on this live stream. Tiger Man, dude, freaking appreciate poop out of you and what you bring to the table. It always means a lot to me, and everything you do, getting in my chat, so we go back into our virtual mindsets, a virtual reality tour. Today's lesson is a significant lesson. Is that censorship never ends. The minute you encourage it, and I just saw Ron DeSantis signing a law that bans anti-Semitic talk or talking negatively about Israel. I'm going to look more into that because I don't want to just be somebody who just talks out of my butt. But there is a push on both sides because it's important to curtail speech. But we shouldn't be about that. We should be a freedom-speaking, freedom-loving people, seeing each other as equals and seeing each other as somebody that we can help and serve one another and make better as a unity, instead of always looking at the other person as the other, no matter on what side. I know that there's one side more aggressive than the other side. I get it. I'm in constant contact with those people on the daily. But it is important for us to find unity and get closer together. Let me know your thoughts on this. I appreciate you guys so much. Tiger Man, everyone else that joined the stream. As always, I'm live right now. I'm live on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. I'm on Rumble, so follow me on all those platforms. Follow me on Rumble if you're not already, especially as a backup plan, because good God, it's only a matter of time before I say something stupid on one of these live streams, but that's the whole point, me connecting with you. I freaking love you, and as always, I'll catch you on the next episode of the Derek O'Shea Show.